Hey, Kevin Brkal here. So I help entrepreneurs get results with Facebook ads, and I want to talk to you about attribution. That has actually gone through a ton of changes, especially with iOS 14.5. These are now the options that you're left with. So as you can see here, you have four options. Previously, we were very lucky by having 28-day click, even a 28-day view. That's obviously no longer the case. Pretty much right now, what you're always going to be defaulted to is a 7-day click, 1-day view, which obviously, a great attribution model. But there is some limits in there, especially depending on what you're going after. So if you're going after leads, or let's say, booking a call where they click right and it's pretty quick, you most likely do not want to be using that 7-day click, 1-day view. What you want to be switching to is definitely a 1-day click, because there's a difference between those two right now because of iOS 14.5. So essentially, like the 1-day click on its own will factor in everybody pretty much in real time, whether they opted out or in, to the privacy updates. The differences between the 7-day click, 1-day view is that may, again, they say may not factor in all of the folks that have opted out, because those people get filtered through a little different system, to get the data back, and it's also delayed up to 3 days. So that's really where there's a big difference. So what we like doing is, e-commerce, we like doing 7-day click, 1-day view, and looking really not so much as the last, 2 days really, or even what's happening that day, but actually looking farther out and excluding the last 3 days, knowing that, Facebook is delaying some of the data up to 3 days. But when you're doing a lead, or let's say you want somebody like book a call with you, it's quick, they see the ad, boom. That you want to switch to definitely a 1-day click attribution. That way it's more real time, and obviously it's going to factor everybody in, obviously a lot more real time. So that's really where you're obviously seeing a big difference, in Facebook. You've probably maybe seen over the past month, your costs go up a bit. That has a lot to do with the fact that previously Facebook was operating on real time. Somebody does something, they purchase, they're getting it in real time. Now with iOS 14.5, it's getting delayed again up to 3 days. So it's taking longer for them to process, and their whole system was built on that real-time data. So that's really the number one reason why. Now we're starting to actually see, results slowly getting back to where they were previously, as Facebook is able to really figure this out, like we all knew that they were going to. And, obviously something that you probably, if you're running ads, I've obviously been frustrated with is obviously, the CPA going up. But again, we're starting to see that, especially over the last week or so, that Facebook is definitely starting to figure out that data issue. And I think it has a lot to do with more people, especially using something called the conversion API, which is essentially sending everybody that, opts in or does whatever, directly into Facebook. So they're obviously getting data, because really, when you think about Facebook's a data company. They're using the data to show relevant ads at the right time. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please share it with somebody you know. And if you'd like to speak with me or somebody on my team about Facebook ads, all you got to do is go to brkal.com/call.